We knew it was something going on that was not usual. We didn't know it was quote unquote a riot. Once we started hearing the shooting was not a normal occurrence then. So when we started hearing the shooting, that's when we knew it was something different.
Can't change the world unless we change
On July 18th through the 23rd, 1966, the most tragic event in Cleveland history known as the Hough Riots occurred in the Hough neighborhood. The aftermath of the Hough Riots produced activism from the residents and leaders alike in Cleveland.
I don't know that I felt any particular way, it was just something that happened. I didn't even think about it. There are aspects where it didn't recover, but somewhat it's still recovering.
My name is Carolyn Radcliffe, and I'm 67 years old. How did I feel at the time of the Hough riot? I was a little afraid. I was a teenager. I was about 15 or 16, somewhere around there. And I remember the church having gone to Akron. We were part of an association. And when we got back, we saw all the National Guard. We saw everything. We saw the burned buildings. I didn't know what had happened. All I knew was that blacks were upset.
During the Hough riots, 4 African Americans were killed and around 30 people were injured, and close to about 300 people were arrested. There were many cases of vandalism, looting, and numerous cases of arson from the riots.
Didn't trust because I didn't know any of the law enforcement, any of the National Guard, but I'll see them going down the street in trucks with their rifles and stuff, and that concerned me. Do I think that Hough recovered from this? Yes and no. Physically, yes, but economically, mentally, and emotionally, no. We have not recovered.
Spark, and sometimes people associate it with that spark, but that's it's the condition that allows for that one small thing to happen that generates into a big thing.
We have to change. We have to transform.
Minister Keefen Early was not able to sit down with me for his interview, but he was able to give me some information. Minister Keefen Early was 4 years old and lived with his mother and father and 5 other siblings and lived on 90th Street in Hough. On the day of the Hough riots, Minister Keefen Early's mother told him and his siblings to sleep underneath the bed. Minister Keefen Early thought that the Hough riots were caused by a group of people fighting outside of the apartment they lived in the day before the Hough riots. Mr. Keefen Early was way too young to understand it, but he did know that there was something different because the city had a curfew. He remembered that the National Guard patrolled up and down the streets in jeeps with rifles and was in full gear. Minister Keefen Early thought that the Hough riots showed how important education was and that the responsibility to reach back and help our people. But before, he thought it was something exciting, but when he started hearing gunshots, he got scared. Minister Keefen Early thought that Hough recovered short-term and long-term. Short-term meaning that they started rebuilding. Long-term meaning that no, because even though the buildings they built after the Hough riots, they are no longer here.
It was exciting, but it was scary too. A lot of people got hurt. There's a lot of destruction that was going on, and it was all inside your own neighborhood. Was it good? You say to some extent, but to the other extent, no. wasn't good, because it hurt more to your own neighborhood than it did good, But some of the living conditions, they were bad, But you had to tear down something in order to get something built back up. So.
I was 16 at the time when several young people ran in the door right there and hollered out, "It's a riot on Hough." So when we heard that, everyone just broke to the door and started running toward Hough.
My mom, she would talk about the National Guard came and they were rolling down the streets in trucks and tankers and how intimidating and frightening that was.
A 36-year-old Negro man had been shot and killed as sniper fire came from atop a nearby building.
And we just started going down the street. Every business that was white, we was breaking out windows, looting. Breaking out windows, looting.
Then at Crawford and Hough, the arrest of a man, woman, and child for looting.
There it was where the bar was at, where it all began at. A sign was put up in the window about we don't serve water to, when we got down here, we didn't see the sign because the window had been broke out.
I think that the Hough riots are similar to what's happening across the country with Black Lives Matter. People across the country were upset about the conditions that many of them were living in.
We couldn't go across 79th and St. Clair because it was predominantly white. And you go down there, you get attacked by dogs and white folks chase you with chains. I was a kid.
This is home. We used to call it Hough where the life is rough. The big lot right here is where the bowling alley used to sit. Businesses, there was a supermarket, big windows. I mean, it was beautiful. And since the Hough uprising, this is how it looked. Barren.
Put your hands on it because you guys are impacting change. I think that it's been amazing that with the Republican convention, tons and tons and tons of dollars have come into the city of Cleveland. But yet and again, you really see the most development in neighborhoods that are not Hough, that are not Superior, that are not St. Clair.
Republicans is all rich. They come here for what? To bring some money into this town. They put water downtown for the kids to play in, but they'll cut our water off in the neighborhood if we don't pay the bill.
A first of more than
It's still rough. Back then, the police was killing the blacks, beating the blacks. You know, it's still the same. Nothing changed. It just quieted down.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I think they don't truly understand me, you know? Because they don't. Yeah. Can't change the world unless we change ourselves. Die from the sicknesses if we don't seek the health. All eyes be my witness when I speak was felt. Full house on my hands, the cards I was dealt. 3 Ks, 2 A's in America. I'm just a black space born out the nebula. And everything I do is say today that's worthwhile. Will for sure inspire action in your first child. I begin my first now. Sometimes I speak and I feel like it ain't my words. Like I'm just a vessel channeling inside this universe. I feel my ancestors invested inside of me. It's like they want me to shoot my chance and change the society. But how do I go about it? Tell me where I start. My destiny rerouted when I chose to follow heart. You chose to follow suit, but tell me what it do for you. Except when you down, now you trapped inside the cubicle they built for us. The first step in the change is to take notice. Realize the real gains that they try to show us. 300 plus years of them cold shoulders. Yeah, 300 million of it still got no focus. Sorry, America, but I will not be your soldier. Obama just wasn't enough, I need some more closure. And Donald Trump is not equipped to take this country over. Let's face facts, cause we know what's the real motives. In the land of the free is full of freeloaders. Leave us dead in the street to be the organ donors. They disorganized my people, made us all loners. Still got the last names of our slave owners. In the land of the free is full of freeloaders. Leave us dead in the street to be the organ donors. They disorganized my people, made us all loners. Yeah, we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. Die from the sicknesses if we don't seek the help. All eyes be my witness when I speak was felt. Full house on my hands, the cards I was dealt. 3 Ks, 2 A's in America. I'm just a black space born out the nebula. And everything I do is say today that's worthwhile. Will for sure inspire action. Hold up, yeah. Trickery in the system, put my niggas in prison. All our history hidden, ain't no liberty given. We all fit the description of what the document's written. We been lacking the vision and barely making a living. We too worried to fit in, while they been benefiting. Every time you submit it, we all guilty admitted. The law won't get you acquitted, but you still ask for forgiveness. Put opiates and syringes, then inject its religion. Now many times I gotta tell you I'm a man in the mission. Many times I gotta tell you I don't need no permission. A human with supervision, ain't no living condition. I'm reaching out to my children, just hoping that they would listen. Start a new coalition against corrupt politicians. It's not enough out the prison, too many murder convictions. Nothing family evicted, nothing black man the victim. That's as real as it's getting. You should take recognition. In the land of the free is full of freeloaders. Leave us dead in the street to be the organ donors. They disorganized my people, made us all loners. Still got the last names of our slave owners. In the land of the free is full of freeloaders. Leave us dead in the street to be the organ donors. They disorganized my people, made us all loners. Yeah. We can't change the world unless we change ourselves. Die from the sicknesses if we don't seek the help. All eyes be my witness when I speak was felt. Full house on my hands, the cards I was dealt. 3 Ks, 2 A's in America. I'm just a black space born out the nebula. And everything I do is say today that's worthwhile. Will for sure inspire action in your first child. Yeah.